everyone. Thank you for joining. This is Trinity Alliance Group of Buffalo Incorporated, and you have apparently gone into the wrong phase. It says how to flip a house phase 1. We are actually on phase 2, so I might have to switch this. Let me just take a quick look. Nope, we're on the right one. Okay. All right, Trinity Alliance Group of Buffalo Inc. We are a full-service real estate investment firm. I am your hostess with the mostest, Delisa Robinson, the CEO and owner of Trinity Alliance Group of Buffalo. Real estate investor for 22 years, social media marketing advocate, business consultant, and all things real estate: sleep, eat, breathe, taste, smell, real estate. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even in my dreams, I am thinking about real estate, believe it or not. We are a full-service real estate investment firm that handles real estate sales. Real estate sales is the whole spectrum. We handle retail, which is on the market, and wholesale, which is off market. We also do real estate investments where we have investors that have invested with our company before, and we return their investment with a profit. So it's called return on interest. We also do real estate investment lending, where we can broker your hard money loans or traditional owner-occupied homes as well. Portfolio building and management. Portfolio building is where we assist you and guide you and train you and teach you how to do what we do so that you build a very profitable, cash flowing real estate portfolio. Management is not property management. Please don't confuse the two. We do not manage other properties. We, however, do manage your portfolio, meaning we can guide you on when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, or as Kenny Rogers used to say, got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. So that is what we do here at Trinity. And again, I am Delisa Robinson, your real estate diva. So yesterday we were in phase 1, where we did the securing the building. Phase 2 is alterations. Now, alterations, you have to understand what's considered an alteration. Before you can consider what's an alteration, you have to know the difference between a remodel versus a renovation, because they are not the same, not at all. A remodel will change the functionality and design of a room. So if I have a bathroom that I don't want in this particular area and I take that bathroom out, that is a remodel, because I'm now remodeling this house to fit my functionality that I want. If I take it out and I make it useful somewhere else, if I remove a wall and expand my kitchen into a dining room, I no longer want. So if that dining room is no longer a dining room, it is now a kitchen. That is a remodel, okay? It's when you change the functionality and the design of a room. We all see it, we've all done it, or we hope to do it. A renovation is when you will keep the functionality of the room, but you will update the look. What sells a home? Kitchens and baths. What can't they be? Outdated. So when you update and remodel your kitchens and your bathrooms, that is called, see, and I even did it just now, I said remodel. When you renovate them, meaning you renovate them, meaning update. Remodel means to reconstruct. That's how you have to remember the two. A lot of people in this industry will use those two words interchangeably, but they mean something totally different. So you guys need to know the difference. All right, all right, all right. All right. Alterations require a permit. So if you're going to change the footprint or the floor plan of your project, you may need an alterations permit. Here's how you can tell. A remodel requires a permit. A renovation may not. Sometimes you can renovate a room just by changing the carpet, changing the flooring, and putting up new paint. That's a renovation. You've updated a room. You don't need a permit for that. But if you're going to change that room and turn that closet into a bathroom, you need a permit. So that's an alterations permit. The framing stage of any project is when this would be definitely necessary. Because you've removed a wall, the framing boards underneath the drywall or plaster or lath that is already there may not be legal anymore. So if you open up a wall, be prepared to have to do a framing job. And if you have to do a framing job, you're going to need a permit, right? Installing stairs and new windows also require alterations permits. Didn't know that, did you? Yep. If you're putting in new windows, especially now, because here in Buffalo where we live, we have these very old, very beautiful buildings, and the windows are huge. And I'm just saying this, even in my house, my windows are probably taller than I am. And trust me, by any means, before you get excited, I don't live in a beautiful, fabulous mansion or anything like that. I live in an average house in an average neighborhood in the city of Buffalo, okay? These windows are huge. When I tell you I can stand on the window seat and the window is still taller than me, believe it, these windows are huge. So they are special order, which means if I want to keep this size window, I have to special order the windows. Or I'm going to have to get an alterations permit to change the size and structure of the window. It is what it is. Now, framing, let's break this down. Framing is the skeleton of the house. These are your bones. You want the best lumber when you're doing this. If you're using lumber, you want the best lumber. And by all means, understand that this lumber is used. 90% of houses or properties or residential renovations are using wood framing, lumber. Okay, so the only time, and as you can see from the picture, they're going vertical, up and down, vertical. If I'm doing a ceiling or a floor, they need to go horizontal. Sometimes in a ceiling, you'll see them go at a peak to help form the roof. Those are called joists. So anytime you hear, not Joyce, like a woman's name, J-O-Y-C-E, no, it's joist, J-O-I-S-T. So those are called joists. They anchor your house, your structure. So you have to have those, you have to make sure they're done right. So always take a peek at your framing. Always make sure you inspect your framing. It's best to let an architect or a structural engineer design your framework. If you are not familiar with this process of framing, you better get someone who specializes in framing. Can your general contractor do it? Absolutely. As long as he or she, because I'm still looking for an all-girl construction crew, just so you know. As long as he or she specializes in framing, hire that person. You'll know exactly who they are, what they do, and everything else, okay? Everybody picking up what I'm putting down today? Okay, how are you all doing today? Good, good, good. Now, you also must have an inspection before you start to cover up the framework. Okay, you have to have an inspection before you cover up your framework. You have to have your architect or your engineer come through and look at it. And you also have to have a city, state, county, or local municipality inspector come look at it. So here in the city of Buffalo, I have to have a city of Buffalo inspector come look at this house. And they have to look at the framing and they have to sign off on it before it's done. Why? Because they don't want it to fall down on someone's head later once everything is all done and said and done. And you cannot cover up these walls until you've had that inspection. Because guess what? If you cover up these walls and you haven't had an inspection and an inspector comes through, one, you're going to get one hell of a fine. And two, they're going to make you rip it down. So why waste that money? Just do it right the first time. I know what you're thinking. Says the girl who didn't have the right permit, but that's okay. Your stairs. Okay. Now with stairs, here's a reason why stairs are considered alterations. Well, one, like I said, these older houses in the city of Buffalo, they have very steep stairs that are currently outdated. You have to check with your local inspections board to see what a legal staircase measurements have to be. Yes, there is a requirement for stairs, believe it. So if you're going to install stairs, measure the slope of how steep you want these stairs to be. Use the best materials, because the last thing you want is for somebody to step on a step the wrong way and they fall. Right or wrong. You don't want anybody to fall. And of course, you have to get them inspected before you move on. So here's what people do for the stairs. Okay, first of all, the measurements are key. Second of all, they'll do the framing. And if they're going to install a new staircase, they'll install it so that there's only one inspection going on. Want to know why? Because you get charged for these inspections sometimes. Especially if you're getting them done through your lender. Sometimes the city of Buffalo will charge you. Sometimes your municipality will charge you to come out and do an inspection. So you want to do as much as you can during that phase while you can. So what we're going to go over tomorrow, phase 3, which is called the rough works. Phase 3 is where people have the electric and the plumbing and all that other stuff. Some people will do the framing, do all the rough works, and then call the inspector out so that they don't have to keep having this inspector come out time after time after time after time. And that works for them. And there's nothing wrong with that, unless your inspector said you can't do it that way. Now, your windows. If you are going to change the location or the size of a window, we just had this conversation because we talked about how big my windows were, they must be done prior to framing and agreed upon by your structural engineer, your architect. If you want to change the size of a window or the location of a window, you have to make sure that it fits the design that you and the architect have come up with. You can't do this once the framing is done and the window openings have been cut out. It's a little hard to do, and it's going to cost you some money to get it redone. And not to mention, nobody likes to hold up a project because you changed your mind about something as simple as windows. Something that people really don't pay too much attention to. They just want to know, are they updated windows? Yeah. So that's all they want. So that's where you run into that issue. Make sure if you're going to do this, make sure your measurements are correct. Make sure you remove all the trim and the casing on the old window, because if you leave that up, you run the risk of having a bad opening. So repair and prep the opening once you remove the old window and the old casing, then you're going to repair the window opening. You're going to take everything out. You're going to fix any weights that hold the window down, any structures or any little nicks or crannies or anything in there that's going to get that window, that's going to cause that window to shake, rattle, be drafty, or anything of that nature. You're going to make sure all that is fixed. You have window hangs that have to go in. Those are the things that weight your windows up and down. All right, okay. And then most importantly, once all of that is done, dry fit the window. I'm going to be honest. I've never seen one of my contractors dry fit a window. Not one. But I have seen them use a ton of what are those little wood pieces called? You put in there. Shims. I've seen them use a ton of shims to try and make that window fit when all they had to do is dry fit the window to begin with, and they would have known it didn't fit. So measure the windows. Measure the windows. Make sure whoever's measuring windows actually knows how to measure a window. I'm being honest. as long as I've done this, I still don't know how to measure a window because I keep having people, every time I ask somebody to show me how, they do it a different way. Some measure the window glass, some measure from the window casing, some measure the window opening. It's crazy. So make sure whoever's doing it knows how to actually measure a window. And then, like I said, dry fitting is a beautiful practice. And it'll save you a lot of headache if you just fit it in there and see if it actually fits. Because what'll happen is you'll dry fit the window and it'll show you the gaps. It'll show you, and it'll alleviate all those little fitment issues where you have to stuff insulation or stuff shims or put extra framework around the window. You eliminate all of that by just dry fitting a window. See how much of a headache that can be? Right. Well, anyway, let's get to our doors. Doors they come in different sizes, shapes, colors, materials, left hang, right hang, standard, special order, screen door, interior door, closet doors, basement doors, cellar doors, trap doors, French doors, swinging doors, all types of doors. Half of you probably understand what I just said when I named all those different types of doors. They come in wood, they come in metal, they come in fiberglass, they come in plastic. Yeah, plastic. They're in all glass with cast iron detail. I've seen cast iron doors. I've seen solid wood doors with cast iron detail. Doors are a thing. Your front door, they have colors, and people say certain colors mean certain things. So when it comes to the doors, just like with the windows, your measurements are essential. Make sure the opening is smooth. Prefabricated doors, those ones that are sitting on the floor at Home Depot and Lowe's, those are called prefab doors. They're already there. They're already fixed. They're already fitted. You just have to open your door and fit them in, apparently. But that doesn't always happen either. Because guess what? Whoever did your framework didn't measure that door correctly. So now the door is slightly slanted a little bit. The opening for the door is slightly slanted. So you have to make it look like it fits. Things like that can happen when you start renovating and remodeling these old homes. Okay? Now, exterior or interior. Depends. And some of you are going to say, well, what's the best door for me to get? Depends on what you're getting it for. It totally depends on what you're getting that door for. Are you getting the door for a closet? Then you might want to have a hollow door. If you're getting it for a bedroom, you might want a solid wood door with a lock. If you're getting it for a bathroom, do you want a barn door or a pocket door or a swinging door? Do you want it to swing in or swing out? You have to know what it is that you want when you're doing this. Again, exterior, interior doors, dry fit the door before you permanently install it, because you will have a gap. Like I said, these older homes have, the framework is uneven. And I see it all the time because I've renovated my fair share of homes where the framework is uneven. So the frame of the door might be a little slanted, but your door is perfectly straight. So you have to refigure or reopen that door out. Immediately, you run into an issue when you do that, because you are now changing the measurement of the door. So you're going to have to fill that in with shims or more molding or more framework. Okay? And make sure the door is material compatible with the framework. Because here's what happens. If you get a metal door and it's hung on wood frames, you're going to have to anchor the door differently. Versus getting a wood door on a wood frame, you will have to anchor that door differently. So you want to try and make sure that what you're doing is compatible with what you already have in place so that you're not spending more money. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Everything is designed to save you money. Okay? Now, after all of those alterations are completed, you are required to have an inspection. If you're going to, if you know on Monday, excuse me, if you know on Monday that you're gonna have an inspection, you're gonna be done by Thursday to have an inspection, call on Monday and schedule the inspection. Because if you call Thursday, they're gonna tell you to wait 3 or 4 business days before they're able to come out. And by doing that, you end up with lag time on your project. So on Monday, you want to check in with your general contractor. You want them to, hey, when are you calling the inspector out? If you want to be there when the inspector comes, you want to know when that inspector is coming. You want to stay on top of these projects. You don't want these projects to fester. You don't want items to be on the checkoff list. You want to hear what your inspector is saying. You want to be there, especially the first few times. You want to be there when your inspector comes in. All right, all right, all right. So after the alterations are all completed, you are required to have an inspection. At this point, you're at the end of phase 2, and you can start the rough works. So, as always, thank you for joining us today for our lunch and learn. How to flip a house, not build a house, how to flip a house, phase 2. Our social media outlets, we're on Facebook at Trinity Alliance Group of Buffalo, Inc. Instagram, tag.716. Our YouTube channel, where we will load these videos, so if you ever need to reference them again, they will be there, is tag716. On Twitter, yes, we tweet. Not as much as everybody else around these parts, but we tweet. And that is tag716_ the word team. And that is how you can reach us on all of our social media outlets. Our affiliates is the Tag 716 Wholesale Network, where we have a nationwide network of amazing wholesalers who are raring to go and find you properties in all these other areas. Our Lunch and Learn on YouTube, and our Tag 716 Network and Mastermind, which is our Facebook group, which is free of charge. You just have to answer a couple of questions before we let you in. And this mastermind group is for all businesses, not just real estate. So join us, join us, join us. We appreciate your time. And if you have any questions, let's hear them. Okay, so nobody has any questions for us today. We are going to wish you peace and happiness. Stay safe, stay home. And if you do have to go out here in these real estate streets, pay attention to your surroundings. You might find a good diamond in the rough. Have a good day, guys. Oh, I have a question. Just when I thought we didn't. Oh, okay. You guys have a great day. We'll talk soon. See you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock.